Red Riding Hood.
The Little Red Riding Hood.
What's that?
Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lived in a small house near the woods. Everyone called her Little Red Riding Hood because she always wore a red hooded cape that her grandmother had made for her. And that's Little Red Riding Hood. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother told her that her grandmother was not feeling well. She asked Little Red Riding Hood to go to her grandmother's house and take her a jar of honey and an apple pie that she had made. Before she left, Little Red Riding Hood's mother reminded her to be careful in the woods. She was not to stop and talk to anyone so she could get to her grandmother's house quickly. Little Red Riding Hood was happily walking in the woods when suddenly she came across a wolf that had not eaten in a long time. Little Red Riding Hood, where are you going with that beautiful red cape? Asked the wolf. I'm going to see my grandmother who is not feeling well, said Little Red Riding Hood. What are you carrying in that basket? I'm taking her an apple pie and a jar of honey to make her feel better. Does your grandmother live far? No, she lives on the other side of the woods. I know a shortcut to her house. Oh no, said the wolf, wrong voice. On the way, you'll find very pretty flowers and you can make a beautiful bouquet. That will surely make her happy. That's very nice of you, Mr. Wolf, said Little Red Riding Hood. The wolf ran off so he could get to the grandmother's house before Little Red Riding Hood. Bang, bang! He knocked on the door. Who's there? Asked the grandmother from her bed. Look at him knocking on their door. Look at him. You see him? Isn't that sad?
Why he looks so cranky?
Look at his eyes. Look at his claws.
He looks like a mouse.
It's me, Grandma, answered the wolf, imitating the voice of Little Red Riding Hood. Just push open the door. It's not locked, said Grandmother. Grandmother on her bed. Look comfy and cozy.
While the wolf is coming.
And before you could count to 3, the wolf went into the house and locked the grandmother in the closet. Oh my God, that's not nice. Then he put her nightgown and bonnet, slipped into bed, and covered himself with the blanket. Let's see, how you think he's gonna look?
Like Grandma.
Like Grandma. Now there. So where Grandma is in the closet, and look at the wolf trying to pretend like he Grandma. A little while later, Little Red Riding Hood, holding a beautiful bouquet of flowers, knocked the door. Come in, my granddaughter, said the wolf, imitating the grandmother's voice.
Why does he want to do that?
Because we're gonna find out. That's Little Red Riding Hood knocking on the door with her bouquet of flowers. She's going to see Grandma. You see the wolf?
Oh, yeah.
Little Red Riding Hood approached the bed. It seemed to her that her grandmother looked very different, but she thought it was because she was not feeling well. She took a closer look at her and said, Grandma, what big arms you have. The better to hug you with, said the wolf. Grandma, what big eyes you have. The better to see you with, my dear granddaughter. Grandma, what big ears you have. The better to hear you with, my darling. Grandma, what a big mouth you have, cried Little Red Riding Hood, who was now very frightened. The better to eat you with, shouted the wolf as he jumped out of the bed to catch Little Red Riding Hood. But at that very moment, 2 hunters were passing by and heard Little Red Riding Hood scream. They rushed into the house, captured the wolf, and took him far, far away into the woods. And ever since that day, Little Red Riding Hood always remembered her grandmother's advice. She never again strayed from the path or stopped to walk to anyone on her way to visit her grandmother.
Yeah.
Did you guys like the story?
Yeah.
What did you like about the story?
That she was like that they was carrying the wolf and the thing taking her far, 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 far away, and then that she was first that she was on her way to her grandma's house, giving her some flowers with the honey, whatever she had,
The honey and the sleep.
And I like that she went to her grandma's house, but then
Are you
not a
sleepy?
good thing though,
Why?
'cause
Why is not a good thing?
the wolf locked her up
The wolf locked up the grandmother in the
and
closet.
tried to eat her granddaughter. Come on, Patrice.